Down syndrome, it's when there's an extra copy of chromosome 21. Because Taonga has Down syndrome, he has lower muscle tone and is taking longer to develop than your average child. Some of the physical characteristics of Down syndrome are smaller ears, the almond-shaped, slightly downward sloping eyes. There's a gap between the big toe and the next toe. So they've got these common features, but they also bear a family resemblance as well.
Whanaunga Taonga, whānau and family is the core of everything for us. If someone needs help, everyone's there.
Every now and then he'll forget something or he needs a little bit of support, but he's progressing beautifully. There's something very endearing about him. He is a little treasure.
I'm Miranda and I'm Taonga's mum.
And I'm Tyson and I'm Taonga's dad.
Dallas is the oldest. He was 6 in June. Grayson will be 5 in 12 days. And Taonga was 3 in May.
Grayson's got no ears. That's all there is to it. He's just got no ears.
He's the crazy one.
Yeah.
Dallas is much more passive and gentle. He has what I call a paiditude, which is like an attitude, but someone whose surname is Peter. And Taonga is
The best. He's the best out of them all.
He's actually the easiest probably to manage. Because he can't move yet.
Because Taonga has Down syndrome,
Everything takes longer.
Yeah.
Right, guys, it's 6:30. Average day for us, well, it depends on the day. So Monday, Thursday, Friday, I work. Take your nappy off, and then you guys can wake up Taonga because he needs to get up. Monday, Thursday and Friday mornings are a little bit ugly because I'm trying to make sure we've got everything, bags packed, extra sets of clothes, lunches, the kids with their breakfast. Taonga has some medication in the morning, and then once he has that, he has to wait half an hour before he can eat.
Wiki, wiki.
That can get a bit hairy as well, depending on what time he wakes up.
Hug for Dallas. Yes. Nice hug.
Time to get up.
Watch out.
Boys make the mornings hectic because they're just a little bit young to be independent, and Taonga needs even more support. Oh, good boy.
You look stupid.
He can eat by himself now, but I've got to watch him, otherwise there's stuff everywhere or plates go sliding off his tray. And then it gets even more crazy. So, yeah, just the fact that they're so young. I don't know what I was thinking. Too late now, I guess. Ooh, I nearly stopped.
one of the things with Down syndrome is taking longer to pick things up. Every now and then he'll forget something or he needs a little bit of support, but he's progressing beautifully.
Ka whaito mahi. Good boy. Great work.
Taonga loves music. He loves singing, dancing,
Enough. Taonga.
anything to do with music. It moves his soul, I reckon. And his booty.
Wow. School. You know you've only got one more week left of daycare? Taonga.
I'm a pretty talented dancer myself. I dance and sing and things, well, not as well as him.
Taonga Peter.
The biggest challenge for me is keeping on top of things.
Right, can I trust you guys to sit nicely for a little bit and eat your kai? Close and I might go and have a quick shower.
The house is always messy. It's a perpetual mess. The lawns don't get mowed. The dishes pile up.
Goody McGoody pants.
The garden is an overgrown wilderness.
Neither of you have got your seatbelts on.
The laundry piles up.
Grayson.
Don't get me started. Just keeping on top of the basic stuff.
Good boy, Dallas. Oh, state of that floor. Oh, Taonga, no!
What did he do?
Took his shoes off. Do you want to walk when you get to daycare? Yes. You need to keep your shoes on. Is everyone belted?
At our 20-week scan, the sonographer noticed that Taonga didn't have a nasal bone. And so we did a couple of other tests and went to see the obstetrician, and they said that there was a 1 in 6 chance that he would have Down syndrome. So we knew that there was a possibility. You know, you imagine what your child's going to be like, so sometimes I'd imagine another neurotypical boy, and sometimes I'd imagine a third child who had Down syndrome, and so I was fine either way.
I just didn't even think about it because I had the other 2 boys, so I just thought, yeah, it'd just be the same as them.
The only thing I had a bit of a worry about was that they noticed there was a small hole in his heart, and so they were monitoring that, but I was more concerned about that than the extra chromosome. When he was born, we decided he needed a special name. It took us a while, but then we came up with Taonga. Taonga means treasure or gift, yeah. Low muscle tone is very characteristic of Down syndrome. Taonga has particularly low muscle tone. The orthotics hold his little ankles and things straight and how they're supposed to be supported. So if he hasn't got those, his joints are a bit wobbly. The walking frame is to help his body learn what it should be doing when it's walking. He has hyperflexibility, so every part of the walking is an effort. I have friends who know some of the daycares and they recommended a few. And I went in and I loved it. I just liked the vibe.
The boys were at another daycare first, and then they got transferred to the one that they're at now. And then I think that's when you talk to them about it, eh?
Yeah, that's why I moved them. Yeah, I wasn't confident that the previous daycare was going to do the best job. But I waited until he was off his oxygen because Dallas and Grayson would pull it off him and other kids would, and I didn't want them tripping over the oxygen and all of that sort of thing. So I decided that would be my indicator that he was ready, I guess. I felt bad taking him to daycare, as all mothers do, I think, that guilt thing. But they're amazing with him. They're so good. They've taught me quite a lot. I'd go and pick him up and he'd be eating a canned pear with his hands, and I had never given him handheld food by that stage, so I've been learning from them as well.
Grayson and Dallas were here first, and then we slowly transitioned him into the centre, but yeah, it's like he's been here forever. He's just Taonga. He's part of who we are and what we do.
I hold a bubble.
Yeah, he's got friends at daycare.
And I want to put it in.
They do lots of role-playing, I think, with dolls and building blocks and in the sandpit. Just everything that all the other kids do.
And I want it to
Just I think his one would be more grunting. Just grunts about
Although,
things.
Waiora, who was here at the weekend, the teachers sometimes ask her what Taonga's saying, because she knows.
Are you painting your face? Rah. Are you a spotty Taonga now? So I'm his specialist teacher, so I'm hovering around. I try not to hover too closely, but I support Taonga with communication, getting confidence moving and walking, and just supporting him in his relationships with other children. Can you hold it while I go and turn it on, Taonga? Thank you. Oh, look. He's kind of like the heart of He Wakeki Noi. Everybody adores him. Everybody loves you, eh, Taonga?
Yeah.
Yeah. What colour is this, Taonga?
Purple.
Wai poro, purple. He's just kind of responding to the environment in the same way that all the other children are, and we try and make all the spaces as easy as possible for him to manoeuvre around with his walker. There can be challenges with terrain and things, but the children are all really supportive and will help him by, he'll get down and shuffle somewhere and then children will bring his walker over for him and things. So he doesn't really feel like someone who's super challenged because he's just so positive.
Taonga goes to daycare 4 days a week now, because that's how many days a week I work.
My job is the SENCO, Special Education Needs Coordinator, at one of the local high schools here. I've been doing that for the last probably 7 or 8 years. So I coordinate anything that they need. It might be helping with learning in the classroom, it might be liaising with the Ministry of Education, parents, making sure they get what they need to be successful in school.
Nice. These are going to be so cool going out. I think it's okay also.
Some struggle with behaviour, some struggle with attendance, some struggle with their learning.
Normally our students would come in and they work independently on catching up with work that they've got to do, or sometimes they might do a subject in here rather than in the classroom because being in the classroom is a bit stressful for them.
You know, what other subjects? Projects. Do you know what you're doing in projects at the moment? Forgotten.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. So having Taonga gives me a unique perspective when doing my job. Or if I talk to your teachers. As a teacher and talking to other parents, if there's issues with teacher aides, I feel like I can explain how hard that can be, managing that sort of thing. And we get you some pictures to help learn the words and understand what it is you're learning. Do you think that would be helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love the job. I love coming up with a plan and finding solutions for students who otherwise might find school difficult.
You and me.
I don't know what motivates me. Well, now I've got some motivation for obvious reasons.
Taonga,
Yeah.
sit down.
I
Taonga,
Yeah.
eat your kite.
When he was born, I think I was talking to his auntie, Tyson's sister, and she was saying that she could see what he might be able to do for his cousins. Give them experience of someone with differences. And I was thinking about that, and then I remember saying to someone, he's going to touch a lot of lives, this child. I don't think I realised just how many lives he would touch.
9, good job.
The Pater Boys Facebook page, it started out as a messenger group with just aunties and grandparents and things.
Good walking.
But I kept having people ask me questions. So I decided to make a Facebook group, which I didn't think would be very big. I thought it would be, family and maybe some of my friends.
What do you say when Daddy's home?
I get people who comment who are from the UK, Europe. There's people who comment regularly in Spanish. There's honestly people all over the world who just adore him. People asking about what I do to get him communicating, or even the physical stuff, which is interesting because, physically he's not very strong yet.
Should we put your shoes on so you can practice walking? Shoes first.
Yeah.
Okay, inoho.
Because he's so engaging, I do get people asking about that.
Oh no! Oops!
The first thing I say is I'm not an expert, but this is what I do.
Oh man. Shall we put your orthotics on as well?
I feel really uncomfortable when people say, you're such a great mum and you're just wonderful, because I get lots of those comments and it makes me squirm, because if Taonga didn't have the capability, we wouldn't have been able to teach him what we've taught him.
Shall we try again?
We just support him in his learning rather than sit down and drill things into him or try and teach him. He's a natural communicator.
Bucky, Bucky. And hand. High five. Oh! Don't run me over, Taonga.
I said to Dallas about a week or so ago, do you think Taonga is the same or different to other 3-year-olds? And he had a wee think and he said, different? I said, what makes him different? What do you think is different about him? And he said to me, he's smarter than other 3-year-olds. And then we were talking about Down syndrome, because I want them to know that Taonga has Down syndrome, because my concern is that they'll be at school or out in a playground or something and someone will make a comment and they're not prepared to answer it, I guess.
Go and practice your flips.
They still have no idea, but we'll get there eventually. We talk about it every now and then. They just don't get it yet. One of the kids at Dallas's school said to me the other day, he's got funny eyes. He's got a funny face, but his hair's cool. And he was not being nasty, he wasn't being mean or anything, he was just, that's what he saw, I guess. But Dallas and Grayson are so used to Taonga that they don't see him as different. He's just their brother.
What do you know about Down syndrome?
Taonga did used to have it, and some other babies have it too. And one of Mum's friends, Thomas, he has Down syndrome. Kind of all sorts of babies have Down syndrome, but not that much.
Push the button. Push the button. No, I don't blame you. It's a bit scary being in the office, isn't it?
He did have some in his nose. There was this big oxygen thing near his bed, and so we had it for Taonga, and every night he had to have it so he could breathe properly. He didn't used to breathe that properly. You guys are different.
What do you mean?
You guys are different of Taonga, and you guys have different faces and different bodies, different legs, different elbows, different everything.
I think Taonga's just about had enough. We might go and try something a little more calm and a little more zen. So we're going to introduce ourselves first when we go to the radio station. Hi, I'm Dallas. I'm 6. Hi, I'm Grayson. I'm 3.
No, 4.
Oh, 4, sorry. Hi, I'm Taonga. I'm 2.
No, 3.
Oh, 3, sorry. After the song, you'll say why we played it, why you like it, who's the singer. And we're going to do a shout out to Auntie Fatty. She asked if we can play Paki Paki Mai. So you'll say, this song is dedicated to our Auntie Fatty, who showed us this song. We love you, Auntie Fatty. Experiences are a big thing for me. Dallas and Taonga particularly love music. Oh, my baby.
Because I value what they enjoy. I had talked to a friend about the show on the radio.
Oh, nice.
I guess I expose them to things that I enjoy myself.
Naman.
Yeah.
Are you excited, Dallas?
Beagle FM is a community-based radio station. The purpose of it is to provide music for the kids.
Say, kia ora, everyone.
Kia ora, everyone. My name's Dallas. I'm 6. And my name is called Grayson.
The biggest influence in my parenting and my teaching was my 5 years or so at the school in Auckland. I learnt very quickly not to take things too seriously.
My favourite colour is blue, and our baby brother's colour is red.
Seeing how a sense of humour and being able to look on the lighter side of life. And I think that's influenced both my teaching and my interactions with students at school and my parenting, which isn't always positive, because when my children do things that are a bit naughty, I can't help but laugh. But I've taught them now, and it's usually follows an F word that they say, it's only funny the first time, eh, Mum? Because I'm one of those parents who can't help but laugh. It's not always good.
And the microphone's up, and you say, who was that? That was?
That was great.
That's great. And we like that song because?
We like that song because we love Auntie Fatty.
Who else did you want to do a shout out to? The Kaiako and Tamariki
And Tamariki.
at He Waka Eke Noa. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
You want to say hi, Auntie Nina?
Hi. Hi, Auntie Selena. Hi.
Hi. And do you want to say hi, Waiora?
Hi.
Good boy. What's our next song, guys? Is everyone happy?
No.
Are you happy? Why not?
It's because I'm tired.
Whanaunga Taonga whānau and family is the core of everything for us. Tyson's family is so tight. They've got Nan, who's the matriarch, Tyson's mum's generation, then Tyson's generation, and then all the
All the
great-grandchildren. Yeah. And everyone knows each other. They spend time together, and it's very important to everyone. If someone needs help, everyone's there. And I think that's probably the biggest one for us.
When he was born, my first thing was what people are going to say or like think about him.
Oh, no, I've seen this one. Oh,
Because I've seen it before. I've seen kids with Down syndrome get bullied all the time.
Chicken.
that's not a chicken. That's a mushroom.
Chicken.
Yeah. Do you want it? No.
I was in the hospital with Taonga and Tyson had been in and then he went home. The next day he came in and he was a bit quiet. I didn't know what was going on inside his head or how he was feeling or anything, but I knew that when he held Taonga, he'd be okay. After the first time he held him, everything changed. The way he held himself, the way he talked, he was back to being just a dad again and not a bit anxious or shocked about what we'd been presented with.
Grayson. Dirty teeth.
And up and down. The pants is falling down.
There's so many people that love him, eh?
So many people.
And it's all over the world. Like, what?
Right, Peter boys, into bed, please.
Oh, you're so heavy.
Right, we're going to turn the lights out. I love you. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to go to soccer practice? Grayson, can you hurry up, please? You're not even trying. So get dressed, Grayson. Here, you sit up here for a sec. I think at the moment I'm lucky because they're still young and so we don't have as many places as we might need to go when they're teenagers, by which time hopefully they'll be a bit more independent. Whew! Thursdays. Thursdays. Walking. Good boy. Put your cookie in your basket. Good boy. We've got a specialist at Starship that I just usually have a phone update with every 6 months or so. We have physiotherapists through the Child Health Centre who we see once a month, which is really cool because she sees such big gains now that there's a month in between visits. He's still slow with his physical stuff, eh? But he's getting a lot stronger and a lot more confident.
He's quite onto all his sign language.
And speaking now. The hardest one for me was he took probably 3 times longer, maybe even more than the other two did, to smile. That I struggled with. But we got there in the end. It was worth waiting for. Where's your brothers? It's Dallas and Grayson. Wait, what? Wait, what? He's so good at communicating now. He can tell me at the time what he wants to do. Do you want to walk or do you want Mummy to carry you? You're gonna walk. Good choice. With Dallas and Grayson, I'm going to be conscious that they feel that they are allowed to live their life as well. That they have their loyalty, whatever, with Taonga, but that they're allowed to do their thing as well.
Eyes. Oh, Dallas and Grayson, go on, Dallas and Grayson.
I don't want them to feel like they've got to, not go off and explore or not go to university or not do what they want to do because they feel they have to be here with Taonga.
No, I think they'll be all right.
They look out for each other and I just think it comes naturally. They'll go away and play, but they always come back and check on him, and same at daycare. Although, the way Taonga's going, he might just follow them anyway. I'm really conscious that each child is different. Taonga's got a friend who doesn't communicate the same that he does, but he's been walking for over a year, I think. And so I know everyone's experience is really different. So I'm really cautious about saying it's wonderful and it's this and it's that, because for some people it is harder. Yeah. However, just because you have a child born who's neurotypical doesn't mean you're not going to have your struggles as well. And that's the point that I think is more important. Not to assume that that extra 21st chromosome means anything other than the child has an extra 21st chromosome. They may struggle with things, they may not. They may have health issues, they may not. They may take a long time to walk, they may not. But it's the same if you have a neurotypical child as well.
Taonga, he lives up to his name. He is a little treasure just by being who he is.
You're such an egg.
Hi.
He's just so charming, and he draws you in with his humour and his silliness and his fun.
Inside the box, it was oxygen. Yeah, you had to have your oxygen on. The end.
There's something very endearing and precious and special about him. I think it's the vulnerability that comes with his diagnosis.
Yeah, I just find him
Perfect.
yeah, pretty much. He's a gift.
For Taonga's future, I hope that he's happy, whatever that might look like for him. I just hope people see him and love him for who he is and celebrate his differences.